All right, Lex Lions, here's what we're doing today. We are going to be working on page number 23 and 24. But if you look at this connective vocabulary, this will be on page 22. A reflection is a transformation. Now, remember, a transformation is a change, okay? Change of an object or change of a figure. A reflection is a transformation of a figure that flips the figure across a given line called the line of reflection, so that each point on the pre-image is the same distance from the line of reflection as the corresponding point on the image. Remember, pre-image is the original, the image is the changed figure. All right, so how can you reflect a figure over the x-axis or the y-axis? Now, we're going to do both, okay? So to reflect the image shown across the x-axis, remember to keep each point of the image the same distance from the x-axis as the corresponding pre-image. For instance, point C right here is 12 units away. So I must keep that 12 units away on the image. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to count this out. This is 12. So I'm going to come down here all the way down here to 10, because they already have it numbered for you, 11, 12. The B is 8. So I'm going to come down here to 10, and this is to 8. This right here is at 2, and since I know they're the same distance away from the x-axis, here is my line. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So where the B is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the C is the same distance away. So right here, okay, so this would be my D image. Now, I'm going to write it the correct way. If I were to actually reflect it, it would be upside down. But because I want to show you, and it's hard to write those upside down, this right here is the A prime, B prime, and C prime. Okay. The pre-image right here is upright. Is the image also upright, or has it changed? Go ahead and write what you think. And obviously it's upside down. Okay. Find the length of AC in the pre-image from A to C. That's 10 units. This must be 10 units as well. So this right here is 10 units. All right, now I want you to now, can you do the same thing now over the y-axis, okay? Over the y-axis right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my A is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The B is right here. The C is right here. So here's my line. And now the D, I see the D looks like it is about 9. It's 9 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 away. 1, 2. So this would be C, D, and these are prime. E prime, B prime, and A prime. Now look, you took your grade and you turned it around. Yay, good job. I kid, I kid. All right, so right here, the original face to the right, the image is gonna now face to the left. So right here, it is gonna face in the opposite direction. All right, can you now, with all of these images right here, can you take all three and can you find the coordinates? So this is the image reflected over the x-axis and then over the y-axis. So I will pause right now. Go ahead and find those coordinates. And here's what the coordinates should have been. All right. Now, do the same for the y. I'll pause. Here are the coordinates for the y. Now, what I would like for you to see is for letter A, for point A, do you notice a pattern here? How about for B? Do you notice a pattern here? D and then D right here. So A, X and Y, they're using A and B, reflected over the X-axis as coordinates. What happened when it went over the X-axis? Do you notice a pattern there? And then when you went over this. So I'll pause. What do you think? Notice how that the B, or your Y value, became the opposite. Your X value stayed the same when it crossed the X-axis. What happens when you cross the Y-axis over here from the pre-image? What do you think? I'll pause. Yeah, the A image, when you reflect over the Y-axis, your X value, which is A right here, is now negative, but your Y value stays the same. All right, let's go to page 24. All right, now page 24 here. On this piece of graph paper right here, on a piece of graph paper, can you draw a parallelogram? Okay, coordinates shown. Reflect the pre-image over the x-axis and describe the location. So what I'm going to do right here, I'm going to draw this over my x-axis. Go ahead and do that. Then draw it over your y-axis and explain what happened. So I will pause. Over your x-axis, it should have looked like this. And when I do that, the x has been reflected into the second quadrant. Okay. Now over the y-axis, what quadrant is it going to be in there? And this right here would look like this. And you have reflected it into the fourth quadrant. Can you go ahead and get the coordinates for that, please? Now remember what we just did on the last page. If you go back and you use the rules that we just learned, you would be able to do these pretty quickly. All right, so I will pause and I will give you time. Over the x-axis, notice your y values right here have all become negative, the opposite. They were negative, now they're positive. Okay? Now right here, do the same for y. I will pause. Here we go. Notice that now your X values have changed. They've become the opposite. All right, you'll finish your understanding, check for understanding.